What's up, traders? Sandro O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. For today's video, you can't actually see my face. I am in New York. My mom had a minor surgical procedure. I had to bring her into the hospital today and help her out with that. See, if right now I'm working off my laptop, see, I don't have my camera or anything. But yeah, let's run through today's markets. We will assess the price action for today. I was kind of jumping in and out of the market today. For obvious reasons. I was kind of running around with my mom today. But yeah, the market action was actually very positive. So take a look at these box scores. We had the S&P 500 trading up 0.75% today. We had the Nasdaq QQQ trading up 1.05%. IWM small caps were up 0.1%. And we had the Dow Jones trading up 0.51%. You can see here, as we look at this volatility, the volatility really got crushed across the board. And that is definitely a bullish development. And then the breadth, I noticed even in the morning when the market was a little bit softer, the breadth remained very firm. So you can see we had 74% advancers in the Nasdaq QQQ. And then on the lower end, we had the Russell 2000 with only 45% advancers. But overall, very solid day when you're looking at, the percentage gains, the volatility, and the breadth. Finviz heat map. We can see a lot of the strength today in the market was concentrated in these FANG names, and really just in these mega cap tech companies. So we can see Google, a really strong day, up 2%. Amazon, Facebook, up multiple percentage points. Kind of odd that Tesla did not participate in the rally. But yeah, everything else looked pretty solid today. Taking a look at our sector map, we can see that, take a look at some of these strong areas. Home builders have been very strong. They were up 1.99%. This MSOS cannabis ETF was up 6.15% on 4.09 relative volume. So we pointed out, what could be a trend reversal in these cannabis stocks a couple of days ago. And to me, that's really what it is. Like the fact that we have not seen volume like this in these cannabis stocks for, pretty close to a year, and now it's flooding in, to me, that's telling me, hey, I want to be involved in this space. And I am involved via GTBIF, which is Green Thumb Industries. And yeah, we did have some broad strength. You can see these mobile payments companies were strong as well. Innovative tech, see a very nice day in the market. In terms of style factors, we had our growth style factor up 1.2%. It led the market today. And then we can see cyclicals were off 0.13%. We did get some poor economic data, so some money flowed out of cyclicals. And you can see money flowed out of high div, low vol as well. So it's pretty bullish that money is flowing out of high div, low vol, and it's going to some of these other areas of the market. Let's take a look. Seasonality, of course, we're in this choppier period of seasonality. By the time Monday rolls around, we're going to be, just about halfway through the month of November. And really, maybe another week or so where we're in this, potential danger / chop zone until we get into the end of year seasonality. Look at this steep pickup at the end of the year. It looks really good. All right, let's check out these headline indices. Let's check this out. So I'm going to go to our S&P 500 and check it out. My trend model flipped. To open the day, we were at a -1, and my trend model slowly but surely flipped all the way up to a +3. So really nice day in the market. We're now trading above the 5-day EMA for the S&P 500. And let's take a look at this hourly chart. We've been watching this every day very closely. Yeah, would you look at that? We are now trading above this weekly value area. What's very interesting though is, it's Friday today. Happy Friday, everyone. But we are about to be entering a new week with a new weekly value area. And where we close today, take a look. This shaded region is going to be the new weekly value area. We're basically going to be trading right at the top of value. So it adds another little layer of nuance to hey, even though the price action was awesome today, we still have to on Monday break out above next week's weekly value area. Let's check out some of these other indices real quick. Then we'll take a look at some of my trades. I had a pretty crazy day because it was all right, now watching the markets in pre-market. okay, now I've got to drive my mom to her procedure, then like listening to this, then jumping back into the market. So yeah, a lot of, just back and forth. The Nasdaq of 1.11%, this was our big performer on the day. And I actually had some short positions in the Nasdaq heading into the day, but I noticed the 10-year Treasury was very strong, and that got me to cover my shorts, pretty early in the session. But yeah, Nasdaq definitely looking, pretty good here. Let's take a look at the small caps. So the small caps, I was super bullish on these heading into November because, we have that really nice seasonality. Hedge funds are short. Now at this point, the Russell still looks good, but it's not quite the same, slam dunk as it was, heading into November, in my opinion. Well, yeah, Russell's up 0.19%. We're riding that 10-day EMA. Now we're starting to, curl a little bit higher. And then the dogs of the Dow, of course. Dogs of the Dow, we're up 0.56%. Yeah, nice little bounce for the Dow as well. All right, let's take a look at some of my trades for today. I'll show you what I mean by it's kind of hopping in and out, trying some different things, trying to make some things work. So early on in the session, I had some Qs puts. My trend model was at a -1. The shorts had been working pretty well for me. And today was the first day where, hey, the trend flipped. So I'm going to hit out of some of these shorts. I closed out these QQQ November 19th 390 puts for 327. I'd paid 407 for those, so a 1-star position. Yeah, took a little hit there. And then I had some Lotto Qs puts that expired today. And that was really just like a free roll from some profits from a prior Lotto. But I also closed that one out in the morning at 10:06 for 56 cents. I had paid 134. So I wanted to make sure, hey, if my trend model is at a -1, and for that reason, I have some short positions, once those shorts stop working, once the market flips trend, I just want to make sure, it's not like an ego thing. It's literally just, following the system. So I hit out of them, no issues. I had this SPY November 19th, 469 by 465 put spread. I was able to hit out of that one for a nice winner. But all these shorts, pretty small trades. I had a bigger short trade in the Nasdaq that I closed out yesterday for a nice winner. Yeah, then I actually tried. So this is, basically like I dropped my mom off for her surgery. They had me go to like a Starbucks that was close by because they weren't allowing people to wait in the waiting room, I think just for like COVID purposes. So I get to the Starbucks, I'm starting to see what's happening in the market. I'm like hopping back in. I tried some actual, I tried flipping to calls in the Qs. And yeah, flipped into calls. But I ended up closing those out pretty shortly after. I was like, I'm going to have to jump off the desk again. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, closed those out for basically a scratch. And then really what I wrote here, so I was kind of like, all right, I'm kind of floundering around a little bit in the beginning of the session. I'm going to keep watching for an A+ setup. Because that was the thing. I was like, okay, you've messed around with a couple things, took some things off, you managed your risk, that's good. Okay, now look for an A+ setup. If you don't see one, no issues not trading for the rest of the day. And then like pretty much as soon as I typed that, I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, Hut Mining looks awesome. And within about like 2 seconds of looking at the chart, I was like, oh, this is an A+ setup. So Hut Mining, let's check that one out. And yeah, for today I'm on my laptop, so it's a little bit kind of like clunky, but Hut Mining, when I identified this setup, it was trading at around like 13.92 or like 14, like very, very low here on this daily chart. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're so close to the 20-day moving average. This is a great buy point for Hut. So I ended up loading up, and I went big on this one. So I bought the December 17th 13 strike calls for $3.15, and that's a 3-star position. So that's when I'm going a little bit, heftier on the size. That's really like a trade that I have more high conviction in. So yeah, especially on the option side. So I got that on at 10.46, and Hut Mining was trading, at 10.46. Let's see Hut. So 1046, we were right around here. Yes, this is at 1040, 1045. So like right as we were getting into this daily value area, I threw those calls on, and then boom, it really just exploded. Like so it's kind of crazy. I put on those HUD 8 mining calls, and then it was time for me to leave the Starbucks and go pick my mom up. So I did that at 1046. I jump off the desk. I'm maybe off for an hour, and by the time I come back, the market had literally, just completely ripped to the upside. So I was like, oh my gosh, because for me, like, if you remember Pristine Capital Trading Community, I've been pretty patient the past couple days, and it's, hey, I want to wait for my moment for the market to really turn. As the market flips from like a -1 market to a +1 market to a +3 market, that's really when I want to strike and hit it. I felt like I was off the desk for like a crucial hour of trade, where if I was on the desk, I probably would have put on a lot more trades as the market really started to rally. But it's okay. I still ended up having, a really strong day, and, it is what it is. Family stuff, comes into play, and, it's all good. But yeah, let's take a look. So, yeah, I was out for about an hour. I come back, and I'm like, okay, so the whole market ripped. Luckily, my HUD 8 mining trade, just ripped to the upside as well. HUD 8 mining went from like down 2% to up, 7%. And I actually hit out of the remaining half of my November 19th 10 by 12 call spreads in HUT. I exited these for $1.90. I paid 72 cents. That's about a 165% winner on one of my larger call spread trades. So that to me, this HUD 8 mining trade, this may be my trade for the year. The best trade that I had. So yeah, that one was just awesome. And I only had 10 cents left of potential gains in the trade. So like, let me just get this off. And then at 103, right around lunchtime, I was like, okay, I need to get some exposure on. Let me try to find a good setup because, the market already moved on me. So I found ESTC. And ESTC, I got on a 180 by 190 call spread for literally next week. I was like, I want to have some explosive energy in the portfolio just in case we get a nice gap up on Monday. And ESTC, I got in. So what's interesting here is this one tried to break out. There was a failure, and then boom, we're getting the second attempt. So basically, when you see these two red candles here, those sellers got active. Basically now those sellers are invalidated. It's like, why'd you guys sell? The stock is right back to slightly above where you offloaded your shares. So this could be the point where investors go, oh my gosh, ESTC is actually on the move up. We need to go in and buy this stock. So yeah, I bought the 180 by 190 call spread, and as of the close, we're trading at 182.68. So yeah, looking, so far so good on that call spread. So yeah, that one worked out. And even though it was a little bit late on the draw, still worked out. And then I also ended up selling some November 19th 17 strike calls against the December calls that I entered, just like 2 hours earlier, really just like 1 hour earlier. And I collected 51 cents for those, so I was able to reduce my cost basis. And then the only stock trade that I did, I bought these TOST common shares for 40 at 85. I set a stop below 46.4. So this trade, it's kind of like me getting a little bit cute. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it doesn't. When I closed out my HUD 8 mining call spread, the 10 by 12 for November, now I just have like this huge cash balance. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to deploy some of this. So yeah, with this TOST, I've actually never taken this setup before. This is an experiment. This is a brand new trade for me. And yeah, so normally I'm going for like, I want the strongest stocks, whatever. That's kind of like what HUD 8 mining is. This Toast Inc., this is a bit different. This is a recent IPO. And what's interesting is the company reported earnings, we got a bad reaction. But what's very interesting is that we're not getting any follow through to the downside over the past 2 days. And you can see these are both green candles. So to me, what it appears at first glance is that there's likely some execution traders that their portfolio manager wants them to buy a position in TOST, and they're using this sell-off, as the perfect opportunity. Okay, we can load up shares, here at 48.13. So right now you can see how they're kind of pinning the price there. They're not letting it fall any further than that. It looks like someone is accumulating the stock. So I've seen in the past, this is just me eyeballing charts, I've seen where you get this violent downside, then once the stoppage occurs, like, hey, we got bad news, why isn't the stock going down any further? A lot of times you'll get that next move to the upside. And what I liked here was, because this is sort of, I guess you could call this like a bottom fishing play, I'm just setting my stop below yesterday's low. So yeah, it's about a 5% stop. So I did the math and I was like, okay, based on my position sizing, I felt like a couple $1,000 into this one. I was like, you know what, even if I lose the trade, it's not really that bad. But if I win the trade, what if TOST goes all the way back up to, $60? That could be a nice winner. So I just like the risk reward there. I was like, let me just throw this guy on this TOST. And those are my trades for today. We are going to wrap it up there for today's session just because, we don't have the normal setup. I'm just on my laptop out on Long Island. I'm actually going to be driving back to Philadelphia tonight. So yeah, yesterday I drove, I started driving over to New York at like midnight, got in at 3, so kind of like a wonky 2 days for me. But this weekend we are back in the saddle, back to our normal schedule, normal programming. And this weekend I'm going to be putting out our weekend watch list for Pristine Capital members. I'm also going to be putting out our weekend market analysis video. And that's really just, how I prepare myself for the week ahead. Right now, I'm coming down to the end of the U.S. Investing Championship. So I want to make sure, I have a really strong end of the year. So far, I'm really happy with the results that I've generated in my account. My goal is to achieve a top 10 finish, in the enhanced growth division. I have not looked at the leaderboard. I don't want to look at the leaderboard just because I don't want it to psych me out in any way, or, me start to just do random things in my account to try to chase somebody else's numbers. I want to avoid that. But yeah, at the end of the year, this for me is go time. I want to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward. So yeah, this weekend I'm going to be doing a lot of work on the analysis side. Feel free to subscribe to the Pristine Capital trading community if you're interested in, leveling up your trading. That's really our goal. We're just a community of traders working together to compound our capital. So feel free, go ahead and sign up. Go ahead and do a free trial. That being said, everyone have a great night. Have an awesome weekend.